If you guys want to save 5% off on LEGO Star Wars, mystery boxes, CMFs, and more, be sure to use code LifeBrick at republicbricks.com. Link in the description. Use code LifeBrick. That's all capitals. L1 or LIF3BRICK at checkout to get 5% off your total order. It'll pretty much get you a couple dollars off, maybe pay for your shipping. So definitely use code LifeBrick at republicbricks.com. Best LEGO seller, best LEGO reseller out there. Totally recommend them. I've got a video on my channel showing some of the products and mystery package. Definitely got my values worth, so be sure to use code LifeBrick at republicbricks.com. Thank you guys, and stay tuned for the video.
Welcome back, everybody, to another video. I am in my car in this video, but this will be also including a lot of pictures on the screen. This is pretty much going over what movie I think LEGO did the best justice for. Star Wars movie, as that is. Between episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, even coming up on 9. Rogue One, Han Solo, pretty much just what movie I think LEGO, was thinking the most for, and I think just did the best set wave for. Again, this is kind of a discussion. I mean, there's really no statistics behind it. It's kind of just my opinion. I'll kind of go over each movie's wave and just kind of give you my thoughts on it. And this includes re-releases and everything. Pretty much any set coming out of that movie, whether it was released in 1999 or 2012. I'll pretty much give you my honest thoughts on it. And then again, leave your thoughts down below what your favorite wave is from a movie. I'd love to hear it. Again, I mean, I presume a lot of people are going to be saying, well, actually, it's tough to say, honestly, so I want to hear down below. But pretty much starting off at episode 1, guys, 1999, and then a kind of second release of a lot of sets. I think it was 2011 or 2012. I think it was 2012, actually, since 2013 was episode 2. But yeah, so I think episode 1 they did pretty good with. Again, there's not a lot of sets from episode 1 that I feel they could have done that they haven't already. Again, I mean, the biggest thing would maybe be the Trade Federation Battlesphere, but again, I mean, that's just kind of tough to make, and I can't really fault them for not making that. Other than that, I mean, I feel like they've really hit everything. I think the 1999 wave, for being the first wave of LEGO Star Wars, I mean, it was good for what it was. And then the 2012 one with the Anakin and Sebulba's Pod Racer, Naboo Starfighter, Droid Carrier. I mean, all that was a pretty good wave, honestly. I liked what they did there. I know then they released the MTT 2014, but in general, I mean, there's really no as much flack as episode 1 gets. I mean, and then obviously if you, I guess, put some of the Pod Racer sets up with their, of kind of the cringe stuff. But I mean, even then, for what it's worth, I think they did the Pod Racers good. I think even the cringy parts of episode 1 they did good. Like the Gungan sub, even I think is a really good set, especially the 2012 one. But in general, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of episode 1. I'm not just sort of run on the bandwagon of just, it's a bad movie. But just in general, I mean, it's just not my favorite, just because it's not a lot of action and not a lot of the stuff I like Star Wars for. I'm not saying I'm a Star Wars fan just for the fact of Clone Troopers, but just episode 1 definitely, aside from the mall stuff and just kind of getting into the Star Wars story. I mean, there's not a lot going on, I feel, that is required to really watch. I mean, the pod racing stuff, again, it's not necessarily cringy in my eyes, but just I don't really see I don't think there's an honest point for the Star Wars story of it. But then moving on to episode 2, guys, I think this is definitely one of the best movies they did LEGO sets for. Between the 2002 wave, the 2013 wave, and just a couple little things sprinkled throughout. The ATTE gunships, all the droid stuff on there, all the Geonosis stuff. I think, honestly, aside from Geonosis Arena, I think they've done episode 2 justice very, very well. There's not a lot I could really fault for episode 2, as in the LEGO sets or even the movie. Again, aside for the arena, I don't think they really missed out on anything. I mean, honestly, I think they did everything pretty good. I mean, what's there to really fault about what LEGO did for them? I mean, aside from maybe a battle pack making it easier to get more clones. I mean, the 2013 Clone Trooper vs. Droideka battle pack was a little kind of cringe, a little not needed. So if they would have maybe just made that, 3 white episode 2 clones and then the green sergeant, I mean, that would have been a lot better, I feel. But I mean, other than that, there's not a lot that they did that they could have switched up, I feel. I mean, I'm happy with everything. I mean, between making all those Geonosis mocks or attempting to, I've had quite a few Geonosian sets and episode 2 sets. So I mean, I pretty much almost got every single one in person, aside for some of the OG. Well, I don't have the OG ATT and gunship. Other than that, I'm pretty satisfied with all of it. So like I said, episode 2 definitely did better than episode 1. Moving on to episode 3, guys, I think this is definitely a pretty lackluster movie that they did sets for. I feel like they missed out on a lot of opportunities. Whether it's episode 3 stuff, clones, anything involving a phase 2 clone, I feel like they definitely missed a lot of opportunities on. But other than that, I mean, from 2005 and 2014, I mean, they did it pretty good, honestly. They hit some of the good points. I wish they would have re-released a couple of the Wookiee sets back in 2014, like the catamaran and the gunship and stuff. But other than that, I mean, the turbo tanks were cool. I mean, again, the 2 from episode 3 were a little smaller scale. But yeah, so I mean, I think they did episode 3 pretty good. I mean, it's definitely my favorite Star Wars movie. But again, I don't think they did the best for it with the Lego sets. Moving on to, I guess I'll do Rogue One. Rogue One, honestly, I think they did very good on it. I almost want to say, not to spoil anything, but Rogue One might even be one of my favorite movies that they did Lego sets for, because Rogue One's one of those movies where it's so compact. It's like it's a strict storyline to what Rogue One is, the whole entire story of the movie. So there's only so much you could really do with it, and so much you can ask from it. And they really hit everything between the U-Wing, Krennic Shuttle, all the little sets they did, the AT-ST. I mean, they had a very good run of sets the Rogue One year. I mean, I really don't think they could have done anything else involving Rogue One. So I mean, I got to give that an honest A+, I think, coming from Rogue One. So moving on to episode 4, I guess. 4, 5, and 6, I'm going to kind of combine all together, but I'm going to eventually rank them differently. But just the fact of, I think they did about the same justice for all of them. I think all of them have their fair share of different sets, involving the movie. I think there's not really one that really stands. I think episode 5, of course, probably has the most sets between Hoth. I mean, just between the Hoth sets, I think they have the most. And then, but even then, I think there's a lot of Hoth sets, there's a lot of Endor sets, there's a lot of Tatooine sets. I think each movie's really got their fair share of stuff. So, I mean, I'm going to really kind of rank them all together. I don't think there's one that really stands out the most for me, because I'm not really, as much as I like Empire Strikes Back the most, I mean, there's not really one that stands out where I'm like, okay, like, all these sets really, because I didn't really grow up with those movies, so it's not really like, none of those movies really hit like the nostalgia point. So all the sets from them, as cool as they are, they don't really like mean a whole lot to me, I guess. But then sorry, I am sick still, guys. I'm always sick. It seems like my allergies have been really bad. But then let's move on to Han Solo. I kind of skipped over Han Solo there. But yeah, Han Solo, again, I don't know. I'm not sure really about that wave. I'm not really the biggest fan of it, and a lot of it is going on clearance right now for really, really cheap because it did not sell. I mean, the Castle Run Millennium Falcon was interesting. It was cool. But other than that, a lot of those smaller sets it was a really overpriced wave for what you were getting, and the movie didn't really do that good. I feel like it was the most distant movie from the Star Wars universe, honestly. Just because it seemed like everything was new, between the range troopers, between all the different stormtroopers, all the characters, all the, of course, younger actors. Like, it just seemed like the most distant from the Star Wars universe out of all these movies, including like episode 7 and 8. I think episode 7 and 8, as much as I hate Last Jedi, I feel like even those fit into the Star Wars universe more than Han Solo. But not to say Han Solo was a bad movie. I mean, I really didn't mind it. I liked it when I saw it, but just looking back on it, I think the Lego sets just did not sell well, and in general, just because the movie was not that big of a hit, I think. Then moving on to 7 and 8, guys, I think, again, episode 7, excluding the really bad Kylo Ren shuttle, I think it was a very good wave of sets. Kind of like Rogue One too, which came out the year before. I think they've really hit a lot of these newer movies really good with the waves, because I like how they come out on Force Friday. The hype's really built up behind them. So just like Rogue One, I think episode 7, was a really good rating for me. The movie, same with episode 8, guys. I mean, same thing coming up from Force Friday. Can't really say anything wrong about the episode 8 sets. I mean, a couple of them I feel are overpriced, but other than that, I mean, it was a really good time period. I think that it was a lot of hype behind them. Between the Resistance Bomber, the ATM-6 Walker, a lot of good sets in that wave. So I got to really give all these new movies, aside for Han Solo, I got to give an honest rating of pretty good. But let's move on to the actual letter grading I'll do. I got to say, episode 1 sets in general, I have to probably hit them up with maybe a B minus. Just as in there's a little bit they're missing, I think, but they still hit a lot of good points. Same with episode 2, but I feel like they're only missing one main thing. That's the arena. So I got to give episode 2 probably a B plus. I got to give that a B plus. Episode 3, probably a B plus as well. I would give them an A minus if they hit the clone trooper aspect a little bit more, but I get they can't just do clone troopers. I mean, as much as people love them, I mean, it's kind of a niche thing to really do. Then Han Solo, I gotta give him like a 6. I really did not like that wave, but then comparing to like Rogue One, just for a whole wave itself, I gotta give that, I think, a pure A. There's really nothing I can do, differently with that wave. Then let's see, episode 4. I'll give 4, 5, and 6 all B pluses again, because there is a room for improvement there. I think they've overdone some things such as snow speeders and Mos Eisley cantinas, land speeders. I think they've overdone a few of those things where they could have hit up other stuff. So I'm gonna give all those an honest B plus. And then Force Awakens, I think I'll give that an A minus. I think that's an honest A minus for the whole wave there itself. Aside for the Kylo Ren shuttle flaw, the wings and the color, but. And then I got to give Last Jedi probably an A minus as well. I mean, it was a very good wave of sets, and I mean, there's nothing you could really do wrong with it. Again, a few kind of overpriced stuff, but I mean, that's just we have to kind of evolve with the times, guys. I mean, everything's gonna start being overpriced. And then if I want to count Rise of Skywalker, I mean, all those sets seem pretty good. I'm not going to throw up any pictures since I don't want to risk it, but I honestly think Rise of Skywalker, as long as the prices stay somewhat reasonable, I think out of all these new movies, I think that's definitely going to compare right up next to Rogue One for me, and probably be the same thing in A, straight A with Rogue One. So, yeah, guys, I thank you guys all for watching. Leave your comments down below what your thoughts are on these waves. I'm going to throw up a couple pictures out the video again, but I mean, I'd rather kind of just make this kind of a discussion video, so really no point of actually going through the trouble and editing a whole bunch of stuff in here and doing a ranking and everything, since you guys know what I'm talking about. If you guys are Star Wars fans, you guys would know all the sets and the waves I'm talking about. So yeah, well, thank you guys all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. See you guys later. Bye.